An apple a day keeps the doctor away, but a glass of OJ keeps the adversary at bay. Here's Oddjob. Hey, it's time for a glass of OJ. I'm Oddjob. So, one of the things you'll see when you talk with any vendor, almost any vendor out there, is that email vectored attacks are the big thing that attackers are using to get into your environment. Almost every vendor will talk about this, especially the email vendors. So you have Cisco saying 90% of breaches were started by an email attack. Proofpoint has a different number, completely different number than that, 91%. But 23% they say of users will click emails. Of course, that's from their platform that deals with phish testing and users clicking. They say that on average, 23% of users in their platform and programs people have purchased from them will click. And that less than 1% of advanced attacks are actually stopped by AV or traditional tools. There's not really any citation for this data, and there's not any third-party studies to corroborate these. You just kind of have to take it from the vendors that their data comes from their tools, their experiences, and that's what they're seeing. But the conclusion all of this that they give: users are the weakest link and they're leading causes of breaches. Users are the leading causes of breaches. So what's their solution? Their solution is to trick users into clicking links and force them to watch videos that wouldn't have helped them to click that link in the first place. So I have to ask, is phish testing even helping our security postures? Besides maybe the first couple tests, probably not. They're probably not doing anything after that. I know, for instance, there's been a couple times where a couple of the gigs I've been in have used phish testing tools from different vendors. I won't say which ones, and I won't say which places. And I clicked on the link. I've done that at 2 different places for sure. I've clicked the link. I've clicked the phish testing link. And they send me to a training. And that training did absolutely nothing to prepare me not to click that link. It had nothing to do with the scenario that was being tested. It had nothing to do, none of the indicators that they were showing to make sure would have prepared me one bit to have stopped that email from me from clicking that email. Instead, it was a very targeted attack and looked very much like what the company at the time would have done to email or notify a user of something. That would be very casual in the environment. So it looked right. It looked good. It's my job. Click it. So education is great. You should definitely educate users on the common scams that are out there, even the latest scams that are out there, because there's a lot of new ones that occur. Of course, when COVID happened, there were all kinds of seemingly new scams that were coming out about COVID benefits, or you're going to lose your health care due to the COVID pandemic, or you're going to lose your bonus, or even, the company has a COVID bonus of some kind and you need to click here to claim it. There were all kinds of instances of those types of attacks from scammers getting into people's environments, stealing data, and even breaching companies. So that's what was happening. So education is great and can help stop a lot of things. And it's even better when you change how the organization is going to communicate the very important things like bonuses and healthcare policies and major changes that are going around the environment, password changes, and just all these different things that the company is going to communicate. It's important to make sure the org does it in a standardized manner, doesn't include clickable links in the emails, instead refers people to places on the company portal to let them know about further information, or if it's something in the HR portal, to say, go to the HR portal. You'll see a task in your inbox. Review that for further information and provide the information we ask for. That's a more secure way of doing things, and honestly alleviates a lot of the burden off the user, because now when they see something, they'll go, that doesn't look like what is supposed to happen, so I'm not going to click it, or I'm going to report it. Even better. You should still have those measures in place. People should be able to report phishing. That doesn't change. But is phish testing actually helping our security postures? Probably not. And there's this thing that the vendors, as well as some security professionals, even reiterate, which is that users are the last line of defense, or even the first line of defense, which again means they're going to be blamed for clicking when clicking is literally their job. When you're in invoicing, you receive invoices all the time. You're going to click. It's your job. When you have people trading data back and forth via emails and Excel spreadsheets and PowerPoint slides and reports and other things, they're going to open up attachments because it's literally their job. Think about this past week. How many times did you open up emails and just click the link because you had either maybe talked to somebody that day and are expecting that information, or maybe even didn't expect that information, but nothing seemed sus to you, so you just went ahead and clicked anyway? So it's our job to click links. It's our jobs to get in there and click and open attachments. If your network systems and environment can be breached over a user clicking a link or opening an attachment, that says way more about your environment and your data and your network and system security measures than it does about your user awareness training. Consider a manufacturing environment where safety is paramount. Even more than keeping the line going, safety is important. And after all, when a breach of safety happens, usually the line has to come down anyway. So, if anything, safety helps to keep the line going. But safety is even before availability. In security, we have CIA. Manufacturing, all that's thrown out the window. It's all about availability, but at the top is safety. We've got to make sure things are safe. We got to make sure people can't just stick their hands in machines and get them chopped off. We got to make sure that someone's tie or someone's nameplate isn't going to just isn't going to put them in a position where they're destroyed or killed or maimed. You've got breakaway lanyards that if it gets caught in a machine, that breaks away. So you try to do all kinds of stuff to make sure you put retaining bars in place, you put yellow lines on the floor, you put cross lines on the floor, barriers indicating how traffic should flow, where you're not allowed to be, gates in place, doors and latches in place of moving machine parts, so you can't get in there without something being locked out and opening that door. There are all kinds of things in a manufacturing floor and even warehouse floor where safety is paramount, and you can tell by the infrastructure, you can tell by the way the machines are not only just designed, but also the way things around the machine are placed to make sure that people are staying safe the entire time. And of course, you have training. You have person-to-person training. You also have training videos. You have training diagrams. You have warning labels on everything saying, don't stick your hand here. The good old impact, hand impact sign, sign we sometimes have on our laptops that say, touching this laptop will result in your hand becoming impacted or something. That's a real thing, saying that watch out, if you stick your hand in here, there's a thing that's going to come down and crush your hand. So that exists. And so we put all these things around there to keep everybody safe. I think I've belabored that point enough. And basically, when something does happen, you still don't blame the person who got injured. You try to figure out what are the things that led up that allowed the user to get injured, that allowed the worker to get injured. And so user error is really just a greater symptom of a problem. And Ira Winkler from Walmart actually gave a keynote at B-Sides Fort Wayne. And user proximity to an issue or to an incident actually doesn't explain a lot. The fact that the incident began or happened around a person, or that a person was in proximity to the incident, doesn't explain anything. a user, you know, a person in Walmart or a store slips and falls on some water that was leaking from a refrigerator. You don't blame the person who slipped and fell. You blame, why was this machine allowed to fail? Why did it go unnoticed? Why weren't there plenty of signs around and deployed to warn people that this area is wet and it's going to get flagged and cleaned up? Stay away from this aisle. Stay away from this area. Why weren't these things done? What allowed this to happen? And similarly, the problem isn't the user clicking on the email or opening the attachment or clicking the link. It's the string of events that allowed the user to get such an email in the first place, and it's the string of events after that that allowed the attacker's level of access or exploit to even execute, and then further get lateral movement, get credentials, start using them, and further execute their payloads. Those are the things to blame. That is what caused your incident. It wasn't the user clicking on an email. You can't stop stupid, and we need to stop saying that. These are intelligent people, otherwise we wouldn't have hired them. No, seriously, they're intelligent, or else we probably wouldn't have hired them. Yes, you can always find that one, but assume these are all intelligent people. They're not stupid. Hell, I've clicked on a link. Comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe if you've ever clicked on a link before. I'm gonna get no subscriptions from this video. But no, we need to be more brave about saying when we have a security fail, because we are not immune to being proximate to a security incident or an issue. Phish testing and force training afterwards is your attempt to stop stupid. But instead of actually building those systems, like I said before, that should support the user in the safe handling of email, you instead put the full weight of an incident on them and blame them for it, and even maybe fire them for it. And that's stupid. And you may not even fire a user for an incident. You may fire them over the test. And that is stupid. And I used to hold the belief that you should tie user awareness and emails to a user's performance score, and even manager scores, so that if managers have certain rates of failure amongst their employees, that they should come under review and their bonuses, or they should possibly get some kind of punishment. And you know what? Vendors took that suggestion, and vendors put that in their system where you can say these people report to this manager, and this manager has so many percentage of clicks in their department, and this manager has a percentage of so many clicks in their department. And people are actually being performance tested on this. That's disgusting, and you need to stop it. You need to stop it right now. You can't always stop stupid things from happening. Stupid things do happen. But you can limit the impact of those things when they do happen. Keep in mind, and this was also cited by Ira Winkler, that safety science does show that 90% of incidents that resulted in death and safety issues, the environment itself was actually to blame. There weren't appropriate safety controls, there weren't the appropriate warnings, there weren't the appropriate bars in place. Only 10% could be attributed to user action. 10% of that was carelessness and lack of knowledge and lack of training and malice. So really, if there's a corollary between safety and security, that 10% is the only thing you're addressing with security awareness and Phish testing. You're spending a lot of money on that when it could be spent elsewhere. So stop Phish testing, people. It's not doing anything. It's actually harming workers and making a bad, more toxic work culture. You're contributing to a toxic work culture. And it's also stressing the hell out of your users, including me. So stop doing that. What do you think? Do you think this was a worthwhile video watching? Do you think I'm completely insane? Yes, of course we should be fish testing your users. What, are you kidding? This isn't a glass of OJ. The OJ's gone sour. Or what's been your experience? Have you noticed basically your fish tests just plateau and you really don't get any further? Maybe it's because fish testing's probably not doing much for you, and you could probably spend that money elsewhere, helping out your response, helping out your detection, helping out your prevention. There's probably something else you could do with that money, including just training users better, just giving them better information, and including wrapping back from incidents that involve user proximate incidents where maybe they were involved in some way in allowing something to happen. Make trainings on that. Make trainings on new things that you're discovering you've not seen before. Let them know about it, and it'll even help them in their personal life. But stop fish testing them, because you're not doing anything but hurting your user base. So that's all for this glass of OJ. Still got some left, but that's all you're getting. I'll see you in the next one.